Sup?
Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, and this is Mary, and we're back with some more RPG horror stories. Mary, before the video begins, I got a question for you.
How do I do these with you?
Let's get some RPG horror stories for today.
Awesome. You enter the tomb of Shiak-Zi.
Okay, that's a 18 perception roll. What do I see?
There is a large cauldron with this putrid bubbling ichor in the center.
Oh, I'm drinking that.
Oh, do you want an investigation check?
I already drank it.
Well, that's 10d10 necrotic damage for... how's 48?
Okay, well, have fun being famous on RPG Horror Stories.
Man, I hate this game. Doesn't even bring snacks. Kills every one of my characters.
Whoa. My god.
Can we have more RPG horror stories be submitted in video skit format? Because I would love that. You know what we need to do one day? We need to look through D&D memes. Just sit down, look through D&D memes and see if any of them are funny.
Yes, please.
I think that'd be great. Anyway,
I need it.
moving on to the next story. AITA for not having my character engage romance I don't want. I'm not exactly sure if this counts as a horror story, but something I want to get off my chest. I'm currently party of this group I've been playing with for 2 months. It's a low-level homebrew campaign, and I'm playing a tiefling wizard. Recently, the other players have been pushing for a character to get romantically involved with the party fighter. Out of character, I said no, and so did the fighter player. But ever since then, in and out of game, the players have been bugging me to try pursuing a romance between these characters, and I keep firmly saying no. My character would not be interested in the fighter. When I wrote my character's backstory for the DM, I specifically included a small part about my character's romantic hang-ups, and if romance was to occur, the kind of person he would be drawn to, who was in no way like the fighter. I'm personally getting sick of these players trying to push this romance in character. It makes me feel like if a suitable romance option for my character does come up, it's just gonna cause drama because I didn't go with what they wanted. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do at that point. Like if the people are just constantly egging on this like in-game relationship when you said you don't want it and repeatedly said you don't want it and you told them you don't want it, then why are they doing it? What is the point of them trying to egg it on and trying to force it? Like, I mean, yeah, some people, they do want to get into romance, and it's fine if you want to have a character get into a little more, you know, romantical interactions and stuff. But like at the end of the day, why would they be so pressed on it? Especially when he said you not interested in it.
Not the asshole, but like if they're actually been saying no and the players are just continuing it, then either they might just have to leave it or they might have to like just say, okay, I need to get this straight, like give them a clear answer. I do not want my character going for this person. This isn't the person they want to go for. It's not the kind of like romantic partner they see. If they don't stop, then I'm gonna take my character and leave. Just like give them an explanation instead of just like the no, because maybe they may think hee, oh my god, like we can start make this like really cute and get them together kind of thing, like not realizing it's not a jokey thing, you know. They might just be messing around, but I don't know.
Definitely not the a-hole. Definitely not. It's the rest of the people in a party that are trying to force this romance are the a-holes. If you and a fighter both said, I'm not interested, the rest of them need to shut the hell up and just leave it alone and move on with it. Simple as that. I don't know, man. I feel like maybe they just want to be the ones that are like want to involved in some sort of romance. Maybe they just want to have their character get involved in it, but they want to start some sort of romantic thing on the side. If that's what they want to do, they could do it amongst themselves. But like, leave your character out of it. Simple as that. I don't know. I think Mary is right. Like, you need to just tell them, hey, if you're not gonna stop, I'm just not gonna be interacting. Simple as that. And just tell them like you're just being fed up with it. I don't know if you should really leave the game, but I mean, like, if it's getting to the point where it's really obnoxious and it's ruining your fun, I'd consider leaving. If it's like a mild inconvenience, best thing to do is maybe ignore it after talking to the DM. But I mean, I could see why that could be like, you know, massive problem, like if it's happening over and over again. Anyway, I wish you good luck, but you're definitely not the a-hole in this one. Let's get to the next story for today. DM that was too excited about pregnancy. Just a fair warning, with this involves struggle snuggle, unwanted pregnancy, abuse, and many other triggers. I need to preface this by saying that this story takes place on a Discord server entirely over text. I'm not comfortable role-playing with my voice or face yet, so I prefer to do a long-form written roleplay in D&D setting and genre. This story takes place in a homebrew campaign city that has taken its land from the surrounding nations. One of these nations has a violent extremist hiding in the capital. Like a secret society, Another important note is that the magic is extremely rare, but extremely powerful in this universe. It operates on a system that requires an actual real-life grind. Not fun sometimes, but very rewarding. I play a noble clergywoman who is very friendly and known to be wholesome. It all starts when I ask the DM if I can help progress the plot. He's excited to bring me into the fold. He says that my character will be kidnapped and tortured. She's the ideal target, and that the other characters will come save her. I'm okay with this, and so it begins. Why are you okay with this? Why? Hold on a second. Pump the brakes. Why are you okay with your character being kidnapped and tortured? Why not just, maybe having somebody else be kidnapped and you and the rest of the party have to save him together? Why do you have to volunteer as tribute for this story farce? It's probably going to be all about the whole pregnancy thing. Why? Why? We never had a player that were like, hey, you want to get involved in the plot? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and use you as a damsel in distress, an item that everybody else has to rescue. That's weird, man. That's really strange. Why would you volunteer yourself for that? My character's kidnapped and taken to a hidden location. A mage attacks her. Really awful things happen. Things the DM did not clear with me first, but I guess it was realistic enough. Nothing was explicitly described. My character was struggle snuggled though, which is touchy for me. Then she is saved. All is well, except immediately when the DM brings up the fact that your character was struggle snuggled, you probably should have been like, no DM, I'm not okay with that. I don't want my character to have happen with that. You didn't clear that with me. That doesn't happen. I am not interested unless in some weird way you're actually interested in having that happen. I can't just imagine somebody's like, hey, you want to do horrible things to the character, struggle snuggle and all that? Yeah, continue, that's fine. Why? Just to get involved in it? There's more ways than just getting involved than just having the character be rescued or put into some kind of situation. Having your character give your character an agency to do something about it, not just have it done too. That it just feels weird to me, right?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Just gives me really weird vibes. DM wants me to write her pregnancy, and this is why I said, why would you keep going with it? If it looks like your character will struggle snuggle, what do you think is gonna happen next at that point? What do you think your DM is gonna want from there? Why would you put your character, why would you put yourself going through something like that? If it's happening, you have the right to say no. You should practice saying no. Every single time something weird is going on, even if you have anxiety, you should still muster whatever courage you have and say no. And one of the other players didn't call the DM out for that, saying, hey DM, that's kind of weird. You sure you want to go with this route? Is this the hill you really want to die on? This is weird. Let's continue. I was floored. I told the DM I was not comfortable writing that. I did not want it to be the character arc for her. He was insistent that it was what I signed up for. He was going to force it on me. Then he made me roll to see if she was pregnant. She wasn't, thankfully. I should have left here, but I just really hoping it was just a strange off-color moment. I don't think so. After that, we entered another scene where the character is in the infirmary. Hold on 1 second. Okay, that just happened to your character, right? That just went down, and you're like, yeah, let's give the DM another shot. That was just a really weird thing. I feel like most people in this situation be like, you know what? This is too much. I feel like I don't want to know what else the DM is going to do. I don't feel like giving them another chance, because clearly it was done with malice. It wasn't done with your consent. Nothing was checked with you. Nothing was vetted ahead of time. They didn't ask hey, this is what I'm thinking of. Your character goes through a horrible traumatic event and gets pregnant. What are your thoughts on it? It just sprung up on you like that. And you try to give the DM another chance? Why? What's the point? There's so many other groups you can interact with. There's groups for D&D and stuff are dime a dozen, especially with the roleplay groups. You could go to any other server, ask your friends about stuff, find some, God, make a risk with LFG for crying out loud, if anything. But why would you stay? Clearly the guy sucks. What's the point of being with this DM?
I'm just pissed off.
Yeah, same. Anyway, Jesus, let's continue. After that, we enter another scene where my character is in the infirmary, reeling from the shock. I decided to write my character as wanting to do terrible things to self. DM decided to write his character giving mine a blade, which ended as anticipated. And please tell me this is the time that you decided, nope, just not enough. Also, I get it if you want to write some sort of traumatic character. I get some people want to go into that darker writing and stuff. I understand if somebody wants to go a little more towards the edgy side, right? But with this DM, in this space, in this scenario, you decide to give the DM another opportunity to interact with you in the most malicious way possible, providing a character to be so vulnerable without realizing, hey, maybe this DM is probably going to use that in a malicious way in order to get some sort of a weird sick pleasure out of this. And he just went with it. And clearly the DM sucks here, but I feel like some of these wounds are self-inflicted. The fact that you stuck around and you decide to open up the vulnerability to somebody that clearly doesn't care for your consent and clearly doesn't care for being beneficial towards you in the slightest, I feel like that's kind of a problem. You got to be looking out for red flags, because a lot of the times, red flags, right? People that want to do messed up things to other people and just want to have their own like fun, they don't really care for what other people think. They just think those ideas are the best and probably the greatest thing ever, and they don't care for what other people think. And they'll find ways to make their ideas, weird fantasies, come to fruition through this stuff. It's just weird. The fact that you stuck around after the first incident, I feel like is the crux of the issue. If you would have left, we wouldn't have more of this to write. We wouldn't be talking about how the DM in character gives you a knife and stuff, and like, you know, I don't even have the words. I don't even have the words. Why would you do this to yourself? Like, if the red flag is there, clearly it's not fun. Clearly there's no point of bothering. Like, the only reason I think you probably would even want to stay is maybe you made a lot of friends there and just want to go for that. But the fact that you put yourself in such a state for the DM just to continue messing with you further, why? It's not worth it. No D&D or RP or any of this stuff is better than no D&D and no interaction with RPGs is better than this. Then he started saying things along the lines of RIP in the OOC chat. I was a little shocked. He then began to explain to me that what my character did was unrealistic and that he couldn't understand why she did it. Cue the rest of the server being mixed between confusing and upset. He continued and said that all humans have a basic survival instinct. After a bit of arguing, he decided to have his character intervene, but not without commentary along the lines of, but you shouldn't have to. I've been pretty inactive there since all this happened. Probably shouldn't have stuck around after the pregnancy bit, but I really liked some of the writers there. And the world is so rich, but I can't get past this. If you can't get past this initially, I don't care how rich your world is. I don't care how good the other writers are. If the people helming the whole thing suck, don't be in it. Don't put yourself in a position where the people that are helmeted can continue doing this absolute just degenerate nonsense. Trying to get your PC pregnant? Leave. Just leave. It's not worth it. It's not worth it unless they specifically apologize and say they're not going to do it again and convince you they're not going to do it again. What's the point of staying there? You could be spending your time looking for other groups out there that aren't going to make you do this. You know, there are other people out there that don't make you do like a forced pregnancy or forced self-harm and stuff. They don't...
The whole thing is stupid. Like, I feel bad for the person who had to go through it, but like, at the moment they did feel uncomfortable, they should have either said something. If they wouldn't have listened, by the looks of it, they didn't. They should have went to someone else in the server to at least explain, because other people were seeing this happen, so people were seeing, like, those people come to rescue them, and so the players would have seen or like noticed or got told what had happened to, so they would have known as well.
Or maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't know about the whole pregnancy or the struggle snuggle. They just knew that somebody needed to be rescued. I don't know. We have a lot of context missing. But like, if this stuff happens, you need to call it out. You need to be loud about it. You need to talk to other people about it. Say, hey, is this a norm? Is this like a normal thing that's going on here? Because one of the biggest ways to disinfect some of this toxic behavior is to put a lot of light on it. If there's no help to be found in this situation, remove yourself before it becomes more toxic and more unbearable to deal with. No D&D is better than bad D&D. No RP is better than bad RP. No crappy server is better than... No server is better than some crap server where you have terrible DMs that force some sort of a pregnancy kink on you. It's just not okay. And with that, that's going to be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.